Hello, everyone. My name is Jorden Gershon, and I'm so excited to take you through your first music lesson if you have not had one already. So, today I've prepared for you a presentation teaching you the foundations of playing music. So, in our short amount of time that we have today, I thought it would be very important to cover three of the essential elements of playing music. So, one, we have our posture and hand position, which refers to how you orient yourself around the instrument. Second, we have the notes and the keys on the instrument. So, for instance, this piano keyboard shown to the right here shows you the notes on the piano, but this also refers to the strings on the guitar or the frets on the guitar. And then third, we have the rhythm and the pattern of the instrument, or the rhythm of the song that you're playing, which refers to the beat and the tempo that you follow. And for the sake of demonstration today, if you don't have a keyboard at home, you can follow along with this little keyboard or pull up a virtual keyboard for free online as well. So let's talk about proper posture and position. So as we know, posture refers to the orientation of yourself, right? So whether you're sitting down on a piano bench, maybe you're sitting down behind a drum set, or sitting down to play guitar, there are specific steps we take to position ourselves correctly to play the instrument in the most effective way possible. And so in some cases, you might be sitting, in some cases you might be standing, but we can almost always assume if we're sitting down that we want to keep our back straight, feet flat on the floor, and our hips in a nice neutral position, which I will demonstrate for you guys in a little bit here. And our hand position refers to how we rest our hands on the instrument. So similar on piano to how you maybe rest your hands on a laptop, it's the same thing. It's how we carefully lay our hands in a position that allows us to maximize the instrument, to maximize the playability, to maximize comfort, and also prevent injury while we play the instrument. So secondly, let's talk about the notes and keys. So each instrument contains a set of notes that fall on the keys of the instrument. So I have included a visual here that's got some colors to kind of help you understand where the notes are and how they relate in correlation to a staff. So a staff refers to the actual written notation that we call reading music. And so each key on the piano correlates with a certain position on that staff. And so for time's sake, we can just look at the colors, right? So on this keyboard here, we see we have the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then it repeats to C. And so even if you can't maybe understand where those notes are on the staff, you can look at the colors and see how they coordinate. So we see here, if we look at this bottom staff on the page, that first note is a red note. So what we can do is we can go back to the keyboard and we can see, okay, C is a red note. So that helps us understand that C would be where that red note lies on the staff. On the top staff, the treble clef staff, it starts with a blue note. So if we find our first blue note on that keyboard, we see that it's a G. So we can interpret that and say, that's where the G is, or that's where the A is, or that's where the B is. And so that's just a little tutorial on how to kind of find the correlation between where the keys are and where they are on the staff. And so in a staff and the keys, they work in octaves. So 12 keys represents one octave. You have 5 white keys, you have 7 white keys and you have 5 black keys. And so those 12 keys represent one octave. Basically goes from C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And those black keys are little sharp notes in between, such as C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. But we don't need to dive too far into that to understand how to play a basic melody. Let's talk about rhythm. So rhythm is the most important element to being able to feel the music. Rhythm refers to the speed and pace of which you approach and play your notes or your beats, and what we call this consistent rhythm is called tempo, which is determined for a a piece so a musician knows exactly how fast or slow to play something. So for example, let's start with an easy one. Let's say a piece is at 60 beats per minute. This means your metronome is going to click 60 times within 1 minute. So we can think of that as seconds. If there's 60 seconds in 1 minute, then we can count that, right? So it would be something kind of like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you had a tempo of 120 beats per minute, it would be twice as fast, meaning that metronome would click 120 times within 1 minute. So it would be more like 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is essentially rhythm. And while it's one of the most important things to know, if you can't understand it right now, that is okay, and we can still learn how to play a simple pattern. So we can approach playing a melody 2 different ways. And one is by ear, which is how I learned to play music growing up, and another one is by sight, which is reading the notes off the staff, as I had mentioned earlier. I believe that a quicker approach to learning how to play music is by ear. So think of a song you like, or maybe a little melody that's stuck in your head. You can listen to that, and then you can actually find by ear where those notes are on the piano. So in the next demonstration I'll show you on the piano, I'll be demonstrating how to play hot cross buns. And my point is that even if you don't necessarily know exactly where those notes are on the staff, or you're still figuring out the names, we can still approach playing music through playing by ear. And so, again, by ear is more of this translation from mind to playing with your hands, and the reading is more of an accurate, direct translation of notes on the page to fingers on the keys. Okay, so moving over to the piano now, I would like to demonstrate a very simple melody using 3 notes, C, D, and E. Using these 3 notes, we can play a very simple and world-famous melody called Hot Cross Buns. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a couple sequences of 3 notes. So the song starts like this. We do E, D, C. Those are 3 notes. One more time. E, D, C. And then the melody goes the other way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So one more time. We have hot cross buns. Hot cross buns. So give it a try on your own. Alright, I wanted to leave you guys with a couple of tips for continuing learning your music journey. So a couple of things are repetition and practice are very important. Music is almost a foreign language in some ways, and so it's going to require kind of that daily training and daily refreshing of the mind. So practicing for 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Accuracy is always more important than speed, and also your success can be determined kind of based off of your first initial experiences with music. Do you have a natural rhythm? Do you have a natural feel for the melodies? Can you translate a melody in your head to playing it on piano? Alright, thank you guys again so much for watching and participating in your first music lesson, and I just wanted to leave you guys with a couple things. I highly encourage you to explore global music, listen to music from different cultures, and immerse yourself in just the vast variety of music that we have around the world. Be enthusiastic with yourself and people who are learning for the first time. If you even have the smallest bit of insight to share with someone about learning how to play music, share it, because it could change someone's life. Give yourself a break. Music can be very hard, very tiring, can be frustrating, and so don't get burnt out too quickly. And to leave you with one of my favorite quotes, where words fail, music speaks. And so, again, I hope you guys really enjoyed this and learned something new today, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.